Alright, so I have made it to champion. So the deck that I used were Morgan with only 7 monsters. Oh wait, no, I forgot. I actually recently had this guy. It is with 9 monsters or 9 creatures and a whole lot of spells or active cards. A lot of them were meant to be able to stun my opponent, so I can make sure that I would be able to do a lot of things. So that got me actually to B4, and then I kind of hit a wall, and the wall was I kept facing Ryu more often than anything. This actually did pretty well against Nerg, which isn't bad because Nerg is like the top deck, but because I actually ran Nerg. The thing that got me to champion rank was a Nerg deck, and this is actually the build that I use. The main MVP was Iris. I think Iris, I originally undersold her, but then I found out that card is amazing. Also another card was Chun-Li. Chun-Li is also amazing because of her damage. From there, everything is kind of the same. I took out the bird because I didn't like running the bird. I had to like make a few cuts, so this actually got me to champion. From that, there are like the current meta that I've been seeing are the 2 top decks are, to me, Nerg. Nerg is either all black Nerg or black and green Nerg. I think black and green Nerg are like the more common ones, and that's the one that I use also, because I like getting over the Ryu matchup, and I think if I use just solid black Nerg, the Ryu matchup would be a lot harder. The next deck is Ryu, and it's more of a control type of deck. I kind of made my own Ryu deck, but as I was playing with it, I think Ryu is like a very control burny deck, and I just didn't like playing that way. So I tried to make like a kind of like a big Ryu version deck, and I think Rathalos is busted in the red. I really do think Rathalos is busted. If we put Ryu and Nerg as S tiers, I would put Morgan, Dante, and Wesker as the A tier type of decks. They're just very solid and they're very consistent. From there, I would probably say B tier, and I say this with the utmost respect because if you're playing a specific style, I think Chun-Li is really good at getting over Ryu, but it's not strong on other matchups from what I've seen. I've played it with Morgan. I have never had a problem with Chun-Li while playing with Morgan. Mega Man X, I think it barely hits decent. I would put Mega Man X as the lowest tier. So if I didn't put it as a B tier, I'd put it as a C tier because its only strongest matchup seems to be Ryu, or at least I haven't figured out, or I haven't seen it. So C tier would be Rathalos, but I've seen some good Rathalos players, so that might just be me from what I've been seeing. I've seen some good Rathalos. I think it was a green-red Rathalos. I think that was really good. I think that was really strong. But from that, I don't see very many. So that's why I didn't put it so high. I wouldn't put it so high on the tier list. And that's at least my opinion. Nerg is just so strong, and Ryu is also just very strong. You kind of have to play. If you don't want to play those, you kind of have to play Morgan or Dante or Wesker. I think those 3 kind of counter Nerg very well. But then if you just hate Ryu players like I did, I think the best counter for Ryu is Chun-Li, Mega Man X, and actually Nurg himself. I think Nurg, the reason I picked up Nurg was because I was playing a lot of Ryu. So I've made it into Champion League, and I'll be trying to test out how to make really fun decks actually. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching, and I'll be posting again soon.